So the best camera for a beginner. Oh boy, yeah, there's so much information online. So much. It's crazy. Boy, where would you even start? I mean, you know, every time this question comes up, it's always, you know, Canon T7i, Canon T6i, you know, whatever rebel this, rebel that. It's the rebellion! You know, Nikon D5500, D3600, D5600. You know, and it just keeps going on. You know, Sony A6000, Sony this, Sony that. But if you actually look at the entire thing in regards to what a beginner should be looking at regarding a camera, I'm not so sure that the Sony, Nikon, Canons would actually be the best choice. You know, because here's some aspects. You are a beginner, right? So as a beginner, you know, you're still learning. You're learning about how to take care of the gear. You're learning about how to be gentle with it. You know, mistakes will be made. You'll bang into things. You know, you'll be not hard as in you know, a professional adventure photographer, but you will still be pretty hard on the gear. You know, you should probably look at something that's weather sealed, just in case. You know, you're not staring at the forecast to figure out, okay, at this time, if I'm over here, how much time do I have to get from here back to here before the heavens just open up and spew all their nastiness all over the place, you know? Like, you know, but you also want something that's easy to use. The controls are easy. You have more options, customizabilities. You know, you want a camera that you can literally grow with, and as you gain skills, the camera will move along with those skills as you acquire them. And to me, it all seems to just come right back down to Pentax. I mean, looking at the pricing online on Amazon, looking at feature for feature, lens availability, you know, and you have to be careful with that because not every lens that Canon and Nikon make has stabilization built in. So you have to break it down to those specific lenses. You know, you want a camera system that will forgive you for your mistakes, not make fun of you because of your mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want it to exaggerate, you know, a slight error that you've made. You want it to kind of be able to mask as your skills grow, right? So I'm going to stop rambling on. I mean, you know, I'm sure you're a little intrigued now and you're like, wait, what is this Pentax stuff? Like, well, I've never even heard of them. Like, who's that? Well, let me show you a little bit about what I mean in regards to why I think this is the best system for a beginner to jump into photography. Let's go!
Alright, so I know I've got this little stubby microphone here. Temperature's gone down, felt nice. I don't have a super long cord for this microphone, but you know, it is what it is, whatever. Anyway, back to the topic. So let's compare the Pentax K-70 and why I firmly believe that this is actually the best beginner camera that someone can actually get. Most people don't even know that they exist, and there's a fly somewhere around here. Flipping summer bugs. But anyway, so let's take a look at camera decision here. So here we've got the usual Canon T7i. I have another window open here, which is the Nikon D5600 and the Sony A6500, which are usually the defaults for when people say they're looking for a beginner camera. Pentax is never mentioned. Now, here's the thing. There are some attributes on the Pentax system and the way they develop and design the cameras that trump every other beginner class camera that is out there. For example, first of all, let's take a look at the T7i. So overall score of 74, Pentax K-70 overall score of 78. Imaging 62 on the K-70, the T7i imaging 58. Features 78. Features 83 for the Pentax. Value 88 for the Pentax and 84 for the T7i. Size 79, size 77. So I think the size, the Pentax may be a tad bit on the large side, but let's just see here. So the release dates for each of these, the T7i came out after the K-70. So generally this should be a better camera because it is a newer camera, so you know, better technology, things like that. Now, they both have built-in wireless. The one super crazy advantage, one, is that the K-70 has dual control dials. So when you're holding the camera, as I showed before, you can easily change the shutter speed by just moving your finger over the front dial, change the aperture by moving your thumb over the rear of the camera across that dial. Boom, that's it, you're done. So the other cameras are lacking that. If you look at the original picture here, so this one has a front control dial, but it has no rear dial. So you have to press a button and then move your finger while you're holding that button in order to change the setting, or press the button, move that, press the button again. It's very cumbersome, and it takes a while to actually change settings. Whereas this, it's just on the fly. You just flip the dial, and you're good to go. And let's go down here. So yeah, so the Pentax is a smaller camera. So in that one attribute of size, mind you, the Canon does weigh less. It's 532 grams versus 688 grams. However, this is a completely weather-sealed camera. The Pentax cameras are all completely weather-sealed. All the way down to, was it 14 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 10 degrees Celsius. So going all the way down here, here's the bar graph score. So for portrait photography, the T7i is not ranked as high as the K-70. It's 57 versus 70. Pretty much the same thing here for street, same for sports, daily, landscape, it's pretty dead even. So they both have pretty much the same dynamic range, same 14-bit RAW. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting, and a lot of people skip over this. So currently there are 112 lenses for Canon that have optical image stabilization. So there's only 112 lenses that are directly compared to the Pentax system, because Pentax in-body stabilization means every single lens you mount to the camera is stabilized. So Pentax actually has 151 completely stabilized lenses versus Canon, which only has 112. So you have more options available to you in regards to lenses that will work flawlessly with the camera and still have image stabilization. I mean, that's pretty much this element of it. You know, and the high ISO capability, I wouldn't really look at this number, the 102,400. However, even when you're looking at ISO at like 6400 or 3200, the Pentax will be much cleaner because it can natively go all the way up to 102,400 versus 25,600. So let's just quickly go over to the Nikon here. So here we've got the D5600 versus the K-70. Now, again, let's go up to the top. You'll notice here the Nikon has no front control dial. The K-70 has a front control dial and also has a rear control dial. So again, that is something else that, that is again something that's very, very important when you're looking at a camera that will grow with your skills. You don't want something that is actually going to limit your capability. You want something that will expand with you. So here we go. Alright, so I might go back to the other image here. So here's the D5600. Okay, so actually, so this does have a rear control dial here, which again, you'll have to press a button and then rotate that dial, whereas the Pentax has a rear control dial here and a front control dial right here. Now let's just quickly go back to the Canon and see if we can find that same image here. Hopefully they have that image. There we go. So here you see the Canon only has one control dial. So button press, move this around, let go of the button, or press the button, move that, press the button again. And here you've got the one control dial on the front. You have the other rear control dial right here. Boom, you're good to go. And looking at the Sony, let's take a look here. So the Sony came out around the same time. Let's go down to, now this is a little different because it is a mirrorless camera. However, once again, there is no front control dial on that thing. There's just the one rear control dial. So again, button press, do something, move the dial, button press kind of thing. Whereas this, you just move the dials and you're good to go. And looking at the scores here. So the Sony does seem, because it's a lighter weight and smaller camera, it'll be better for street photography. I will give it that. The K-70 has a better score for sports, which includes low light. Daily, again, this is mainly because of the A6500's lightweight and portable aspect. Landscapes probably has slightly better dynamic range than the Pentax. However, the A6500 is not weather sealed whatsoever, and it is not nearly built as rugged as the Pentax. And here for portrait photography, the Pentax would be much better. So going down here, again, let's see how many lenses. So the Sony system also uses sensor shift for the stabilization and only has 121 currently available lenses versus Pentax with 151. So again, there are more choices of lenses when you pick Pentax. So, it's really a shame that Pentax does not get the limelight that they deserve in regards to, just beginner level photographers coming into the market. A lot of them don't even know that they exist. And just to show you here, here's the operating environment. So the temperature range -10 Celsius to +40 Celsius, which is 14 Fahrenheit to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. This is for the Pentax K-70, which you can see right up here. Now let's go to the Nikon page. Operating environment. Temperature of 0 to 40, so 32 Fahrenheit to 104. Versus -10 to 40, or 14 to 104. So let's go to Canon. Same thing. 0 degrees to 40 Celsius, 32 to 104. So none of these cameras hold a candle to Pentax in regards to just being one camera that you need to buy that you can hold on to for years, and it will just continuously grow with you because it's not actually missing any features. And it's built like a tank. It is designed to go in places that you wouldn't even want to go in yourself. And looking at the prices here, so this is with the 18-135 lens. Oh, look at that, eh? That is a nice color. Oh, that's a nice color. Anyway, so it's $869.89. Now let's look at a similar bundle kit here with a D5600, and it's $809. Right? But again, it's not really built to the same standards that a Pentax camera is built to, and that's the big thing. And I'm not even going to click on any of these because $12.99, that's not even in the same ballpark, man. But anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, realistically, if you are looking for a beginner camera that will grow with you and offer you all the features and pretty much all the features that are available on the higher end cameras from the competition, you only need to look in one place, and that's Pentax, Pentax. Grab yourself a K-70 bundle, throw away all those extra useless bundle kit things that come with the camera on those packages, like this one here, and get rid of all this crap. But keep the lens. So grab yourself a K-70 with the 18-135 lens, and you'll be able to capture some absolutely phenomenal photography. It's got the complete green beginner mode, scene modes, all that stuff. It's got the manual modes, aperture, shutter speed, priority, all that stuff. Every lens you mount to it is going to be completely stabilized. It has intuitive controls with the front and back control dials to change settings and stuff like that. It even has a green button, so if you mess up all your settings and nothing's working, just press the green button. The camera will reset and allow you to actually get a properly exposed image. It is by far the best camera system that you can possibly get as a beginner. And I'm just going to keep saying that. I've been through it. I've done that. I've used the Nikons. I've used the Canons. I've used the Sonys. And they're just not like this. I mean, this is just a completely intuitive system. Yeah, so even though you don't really hear about it, if you see this video, check out this brand name. You will be shocked at what they actually bring to the table. Leave a like if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. And if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And that's it for me. You guys will see me on my next video. I'm out.